You're watching News Centre with me, Parikshit Luthra. The ties between India and Pakistan have come under severe strain yet again. India is mounting a response to the tragedy in Pahalgam, the deadliest attack on civilians since 26/11 in Mumbai. Jammu Kashmir police have said that 2 of the 3 terrorists involved in the attack are Pakistani citizens. The Cabinet Committee on Security, India's highest decision-making body on national security matters, has unleashed its response against Islamabad on several fronts. The Indus Water Treaty has been suspended. All visas to Pakistani nationals have been cancelled. India has also downgraded its diplomatic ties with Islamabad by reducing its mission strength. Pakistan has been asked to do the same. Pakistan has termed the suspension of Indus Water Treaty as an act of war and have shut down its airspace to Indian airline companies. Islamabad has also suspended all bilateral agreements with India by keeping it in abeyance. We will be discussing all the key developments in the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack. But first, here's Prime Minister Modi promising to identify, trace and punish each terrorist and their backers in a manner they cannot imagine.
India will identify, track and punish every terrorist and their backers. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth. India's spirit will never be broken by terrorism. Terrorism will not go unpunished.
All right, joining us right now, former Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, Secy, and Strategic Affairs expert, Brahma Chilani, with us. Brahma Chilani, if I can come to you, a very strong response there by the Prime Minister. His first statement since the Pahalgam attack, speaking in English this time, went on to say that we will search for these terrorists everywhere and we will retaliate in a manner that no one can even imagine. Your thoughts on the Prime Minister's response?
Is responding to the national anger. The massacre in Pahalgam, the victims have included people from 14 or 15 different Indian states. So there is national outpouring of anger, and there is anger even in the Kashmir Valley. We have never seen that before. Candlelight protest marches against what happened in Pahalgam, the way these terrorists have undermined the Kashmiri economy by conducting this strike, because now the tourists are fleeing Kashmir Valley. So there's anger even in the Kashmir Valley, and the Prime Minister is reflecting the public anger by making the kind of statement that he has made today.
Right. What do you think India should be doing in these circumstances? You know, we have seen a series of attacks by Pakistan. We saw Uri, we saw Pulwama, we've seen Pathankot. Now, considering that civilians have been massacred, shot at point-blank range, what more does India need to do after taking some of these diplomatic steps? A lot of this was on expected lines. In fact, certain experts are telling us that suspending Indus Water Treaty has been on the table since the Uri attacks, because India feels we're not getting really anything out of it, and it's better to, abrogate it altogether.
You're right. After the Uri attacks, Prime Minister Modi had said publicly that blood and water cannot flow together. But 8 years have passed, and even now, India has not suspended the treaty. It has placed this treaty in abeyance. Now, placing a treaty in abeyance, it's unclear what that means in terms of international law. But international law provides India sufficient leeway to withdraw from the treaty. International law is clear. When a treaty's foundational conditions collapse, or when one party persistently breaches the terms of a treaty, then the other party has the right to suspend or withdraw from the treaty. To those questioning the legality of India's position, the answer lies in international law itself. After all, international law is not a suicide pact. The Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties, which codifies customary international law, allows a state to withdraw from a treaty if the other party has committed a material breach or if there has been a fundamental change in circumstances. The Indus Water Treaty, as we all know, was founded on hope. It was founded on the hope of ushering in subcontinental peace. But this treaty has only weighted Pakistan's territorial ambitions. If 5 years after the treaty was concluded, Pakistan actually began a full-fledged war to grab J&K from India. And since then, this treaty has been used by Pakistan to argue that Pakistan should have the control of the territories from where these rivers flow into Pakistan in order to achieve water security. In other words, a treaty built on hope has become the foundation for Pakistan's territorial revisionism. And that's the paradox that India faces. And I think this step of placing an abeyance raises the question as to why India did not go full hog and withdraw from this treaty.
Right. Let me get in Ambassador K.C. Singh at this point. Ambassador K.C. Singh, as we speak, we're getting these pictures of, cars of envoys of P5 countries, G20 nations arriving at the Ministry of External Affairs. They are being briefed about the findings by investigative agencies in the Pahalgam attack. What do you think is the importance of this exercise to get foreign envoys on board?
I think it's a usual exercise. I don't think there's nothing that you can tell them which they don't know already. There's more of for optics, you convey it, those countries know it, their leaders have called the Prime Minister. So I don't know what additional, unless you have some additional information, intelligence, which you can share with them and tell them that there is a direct link to Pakistan and this is trans-border. That may be the only purpose, so that they can tell their countries that Indian indignation is fully justified in naming Pakistan. So we don't know what exactly is going to be told to them. If it is simply whatever has already been told, then it's really the normal thing you do in diplomacy. You call in the ambassadors of different countries. You're building up public opinion. But I don't think Pakistan gives a damn about that.
Right.
Public opinion, we've been built, yeah.
Right. We are also getting these pictures of Shehbaz Sharif, the National Security Council meeting that took place in Pakistan. Following that, the government of Pakistan had said that in case India restricts the flow of water under the Indus Water Treaty, it would be termed as an act of war. Any attempt against Pakistan's sovereignty would be met with very, very strongly. The airspace has been shut down for Indian airlines as well. How do you see the statements which have come from Pakistan today, or do you feel this is all on expected lines?
No, this is retaliation is expected from them. You saw the speech of their army chief. He was belligerent. He was aggressive to the point of, talking about Kashmir being their jugular vein and so on and so forth. So out of nowhere, he had come up with that. Therefore, they've been doing it for a while. There are different reasons for it. They've been, but then you see also we have to look at it from our point of view. For 5 years, we've completely ignored Pakistan. We thought this whole issue has gone away and that's it. And we can just carry on with our lives. But when you have outstanding historical disputes with neighboring countries, you can't just wish them away or simply ignore them and say, it's just gone away. Because we thought they're busy with Baluchistan, they're busy with the Taliban, they're busy with the TTP and so on and so forth. And then came this signal where the army chief was speaking aggressively. So quite clearly, he had already given the green light to the ISI. Otherwise, he won't speak. Something like this can't be done overnight. They must have had extensive planning for it. So this is, Pakistanis are bringing Kashmir back as an international issue so that it's not forgotten, because till now nobody was discussing Kashmir. You're discussing Ukraine, you're discussing Gaza, you're discussing Trump's tariffs. Kashmir had just gone off the radar. So this is Pakistan trying to bring it back. And the more you escalate it, the more they would like it, because then the escalation allows them to bluff and talk about retaliation, talk about attack. So this is along expected lines.
Right. Brahma Chelani, this is a pattern that we always see. And we spoke to Mr. P. Chidambaram, the former Home Minister, earlier today, and we'll be playing that interview out shortly. And he said that the manner in which the innocent civilians were targeted by Pakistani terrorists, this is all on expected lines. It has happened earlier. The modus operandi is known. They are trying to divide the country along communal lines, cause panic in the country. Now, how does India deal with this in a strong manner so that it is not repeated every 5 to 6 years? We have 5 to 6 years, sometimes 3 to 4 years of peace. Then all of a sudden you see a ghastly attack of this kind. How do we make sure the ability to carry out such terror attacks is eliminated?
Well, first we need a consistent Pakistan policy. Have we had a government that has pursued a consistent Pakistan policy? I can't think of any government that we've had that has a consistent approach toward Pakistan. Let's begin with Vajpayee. He went in a bus to Lahore. Then he cried publicly that his bus to Lahore got hijacked to Kargil. Then came Manmohan Singh. He made all these peace overtures to Pakistan, only to invite the horrific terror attacks in Mumbai, which went completely unpunished. Then we had Modi landing in Lahore, unannounced. And his visit to Lahore, what did it do? It triggered a series of Pakistan-scripted attacks on Indian military camps, including Pathankot, Uri. So several of them, several attacks happened. So why is it that every prime minister who takes office in India, instead of learning from the experiences of his predecessors, seeks to reinvent the foreign policy wheel by believing in his own ability, the power of his personality? He believes that he can make peace with Pakistan. He believes that he can make peace with a country that is founded on hate, There's no national identity. It defines itself in terms of what it opposes, namely India. But it cannot define itself, it's unable to define itself in terms of what it stands for. That's the reason why Pakistan doesn't have a national identity. So a country founded on hate cannot be a normal state, and yet successive governments in India, at the nation's expense, have sought to make peace with Pakistan. So is it any surprise that history keeps repeating itself? After every major terror attack, we have the same debate on national channels, the same arguments, the same questions, whether there will be retribution, etc., etc.
Yeah. We've completely run out of time, but thank you very much, Ambassador Secy Singh and Brahma Chelani, for joining us. Clearly, there are strong questions there as to what we are going to be doing next. But as we have been speaking about the Indus Water Treaty as well, we will get you an important interview after this short break. Don't go anywhere. Lots coming up on the other side.